When you hear someone talk about God, what do you think he's like? Do you ever hear people talk about him as the man upstairs? Maybe you see God as an old man who lives in the sky, like your granda or Santa Claus. You keep him at arm's length, only turning to him in emergencies when there's nowhere else to go. You imagine that God smiles on you when you do good things and frowns on you when you do bad things. Is God a kind old person in the sky, or a tyrant who canes you when you make a mess? If God is like this, just an old man who lived in the clouds, how would that be good news? If you imagine God like that, would you ever really trust him? Why would you think he might be able to help you when you turn to him in those real emergencies? When you cry out, "Oh God, help me," when things aren't going the way you hoped they would? We need to be careful of how we think of God and where our picture of him comes from. Just because your granny talked about God as the man upstairs doesn't mean that that's what he's like. If we want to know what God is really like, we need to let him speak for himself. In the Bible, God tells us and shows us just what he's like. God is the one who owns everything because he's made everything. He's the one who made the clouds, the one who made the sky, the sun, and everything that there is, including you and me. He made it all out of nothing. He just said the word and everything came to be. How impressive is that? I mean, if you wanted to make something, you need stuff to make it. If you want to make a fence, you need wood, nails, hammers, saws. You want to make a cake, you need flour, water, sugar, butter, a whole heap of stuff. We're so limited by what we have, by who we know, by all sorts of things, but he is not. You see, God is not like anyone you've ever met. He's not like us, only stronger, fitter, harder working. God has always been around, but that doesn't make him old. He's not just better than we are, he's perfect in every way. God never changes, he never sleeps, he never flies off the handle. He knows everything, he's completely powerful, and yet he never gives up loving. These are just some of the things that God tells us about himself. The truth is, we can never really take in all that he is. God is too amazing for that. Yet still, the Bible tells us that we can know him and be known by him. So God is certainly not just a helpless old man sitting on a cloud at our beck and call, waiting for nice people in church to sing to him, to pray to him, and then when they do, he gives them the stuff that they want. A God like that is no use to anyone. Have you been underestimating God because you think of him like he's some old man who lives in the sky?